This video goes out to owners of late 2013 through 2015 A1398 MacBook Pros. This is the 15-inch, either with the integrated graphics or the dedicated graphics. So what we're seeing on a lot of these machines is they come in with issues of random crashing, random kernel panics, random black screens. You know, you'll just be using your computer, then it'll just go black. Sometimes you'll have backlight, sometimes you won't have backlight. It could either happen both ways, but typically you will just lose image, or it'll kernel panic, or just flat out crash. So this is something that is becoming more and more common, and it is actually an issue with the board, so particularly with the CPU MOSFETs. So when this is happening not under load. So typically you would think that an issue would be under load. That's not the case with these. The issue typically happens when it's under light load, like web browsing or just sitting there on the desktop. So basically what's going on is your CPU has several power states, basically different voltages that are inputted into the CPU. So what's going on in this is the CPU tries to switch to a low power mode, and when it does, it becomes unstable because of a little drop in CPU vCore voltage. CPU vCore voltage is basically the input voltage to the CPU. If there's an issue there, it's not going to work. Okay, so why is this happening? Why is one day your computer starting to random crash? Well, it's thanks to a process called electron migration. So basically what this is little tiny particles of the silicon in your CPU are breaking off and going in places where they're not supposed to be. This happens to all integrated circuits over time. It is totally normal. But over time, as this happens more and more, the CPU is going to develop more voltage leakage to ground, and it's also going to start using more power. So this same exact process that's happening to the CPU is also happening to the CPU MOSFETs at the same time. So what happens is you get two things that are worn out, and basically when the CPU tries to switch this low power state, the MOSFETs simply are too worn out to seamlessly switch it over, and then you get a little tiny dip in that voltage. The CPU does not like that, and it crashes. This process is further accelerated by heat. So if you do a lot of video editing on your computer, or heck, even just watch YouTube video, this is likely to happen faster. This will not affect every single one of these machines. It could have been a defective batch of MOSFETs that got out, but I know it just happens on most of these from not most, but happens to a good amount between 2013, late 2013 and 2017 15-inch MacBook Pros. The 13-inch MacBook Pro is completely unaffected. The MacBook Airs are completely unaffected. It is simply an issue with this machine using this certain type of MOSFET. So if you bring your MacBook to a lot of repair stores, if you bring it to Apple, anything like that, they're most likely going to tell you need to replace the whole logic board. Now the boards in these computers are fairly expensive. Some of them go for anywhere from like $280 to around $400 or $500. So the good news is you don't actually have to replace your logic board. A lot of people have software that's serialized and tied to the original serial number on the machine, and that'll change if you replace the logic board. Good news is that doesn't have to be done. There are 3 MOSFETs on the board. This is not really something you want to attempt yourself unless you know what you're doing, but you can find a competent repair shop that is capable of doing this repair for you for probably less than replacing the logic board. So there's 3 MOSFETs that we need to change with a better rated MOSFET, or not even really a better rated MOSFET, just a new MOSFET, and that should resolve this issue. Okay, here are 3 chips that are responsible for causing our problems. There's one there, there's one there, and then there's another one right over here. So we're going to go ahead and replace these. First thing to do is we're going to add a little bit of flux, which is a chemical that's going to help solder flow. We're going to take all of them off, and then we'll go ahead and place some new ones there. Just go ahead and put some flux around them all so it can melt when we heat it. This is a fairly easy job to screw up, and if you do mess it up, you can actually ruin your board completely. And you definitely do not want that. There's one. There's two. This third one here, I'm going to have to remove the heatsink. Heatsink is now off, so we can go ahead and remove this last one and start putting the new ones on. Also want to be mindful not to melt that connector. That's for your keyboard backlight. That one is off. Go ahead and add a little bit more flux so we can put the new one on properly. Okay, here is our new chip. We're going to start heating it, and it should pull itself right into place where it's supposed to go. Come on, go into place. That should be good for that one. Let's move on to this next one right here. Again, we're going to add some more flux. Grab our chip. It's in place really nicely. And our final one. That one's in place as well. So we're done here. Okay, the last thing we need to do is plug it in with the board out and check and see if all the MOSFETs are working properly and supplying around 1.7 to 1.8 volts to our CPU. So we could do that by measuring on these coils. We have 1.783, that's perfect. 1.788, perfect. And 1.789, also perfect. So this is good to go. Okay, so we ran the board through the ultrasonic cleaner just to clean up all the flux and the other dust and dirt that was on it, ran the tests, and we are good to go. So this is fixed. Like I said, this is a fairly common thing that we're seeing more and more. So if you have this issue, this is what needs to be done, and this is what is wrong on your board.